This is my review of Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Okay, so if you guys don't know what this film is, the Pokemon Company decided to remake one of their films from 1998, Mewtwo Strikes Back, hence Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. And normally I would go into a plot summary of what this movie is and what it's about, but it's more or less just a remake of the original. And so if you know the original or have at the very least watched the original, you'll probably know what this movie is about. You'll know exactly what the movie is. You'll know exactly what goes down in it. You'll know exactly how it ends, how it begins, all that stuff. So I don't feel like I need to give a plot summary for this movie, because chances are most people are old enough to have watched it, and the people who are most likely going to watch it are people who have watched the original. So you'll probably like Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution if you like the original. That being said, there are some things in the remake that are, well, not necessarily mistakes, but they were kind of sorted out in the new version. So in the original, there was a lot of dubbing mistakes that kind of just slipped through the cracks, and it kind of came off as really stupid because it felt like some of the characters didn't know what they were talking about. There were a couple, in the original there were a couple examples of people not knowing the correct name for what the Pokemon was, or otherwise just got the typing of their Pokemon wrong, and the remake kind of fixed that. It fixed a lot of the vocalization mistakes that were made in the original, and overall it's a lot smoother because of it, because it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like the people behind it just kind of miss something in the localization, and it came off being wrong on the other end. It feels like the Pokemon Company and the people in charge took their time to actually make sure everybody was speaking what they were supposed to be speaking. So they say the correct lines. They don't screw things up. There's no mistakes in this version of the film, or at the very least, there's no vocal mistakes in the original. Again, it's been a long time since I saw the original. I saw it when I was like 5 or 6, so I don't really remember much of it. But I do. But watching this, it is definitely a nostalgia trip. I do remember most of it, a lot more than I gave myself credit to. I wasn't allowed to watch anime much as a child, because it kind of set off my what's it called? I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm sort of on the spectrum. It was a lot worse when I was a little kid. So flashy action scenes kind of set me off a little bit. So I wasn't allowed to watch anime much as a child. Hence, I had to kind of watch the original when nobody was around, which wasn't very often, but from what I remember, it's still a pretty good movie. So yeah, if you like Mewtwo Strikes Back, you'll like Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It more or less follows the same plot points as the original, but the graphics are a bit updated. The graphics in Evolution are notably CG as opposed to the 4x3 boxing of the original, as well as some of the outdated animation and stuff like that. So the original movie's a little bit dated, and Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution has a few things over the original, but more or less they're kind of interchangeable. You can watch Mewtwo Strikes Back, you can watch Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Either way, you're going to be seeing the same film. But notably, I do recommend Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution a little bit more, because it does do some things better than the original. But overall, it's the same film, and it's still a really good film. I don't normally like remakes, but this one is better than the original, albeit slightly better, but it is still but Mewtwo Strikes Back is still a really good film, and Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution kind of capitalizes on the fact that this film is a bit underrated for its time, and it definitely shows. There was definitely a lot of attention to detail with this one. They made sure everybody knew the names of their Pokemon. They made sure everybody knew the types of their Pokemon. They made sure there was no vocal mistakes. It shows. It shows that they really wanted to make sure that this film was the best it could be. I can understand I can understand why it's on Netflix though. Because I don't think anybody's going to justify paying full price for a movie ticket to go see a movie they already saw. But fortunately, it's on Netflix, so chances are you already have a Netflix account. Chances are you're already going to have seen the original and want to watch the remake. Chances are you're already going to have a Netflix account. So the movie is more or less free as long as you have a Netflix account. Most people probably do have a Netflix account nowadays, so it didn't really cost you a dime, except for paying for the service you were already paying for. So overall, the film is free, so watch it or don't watch it. Either way, you don't have to pay to watch it because you're already paying for a service you already have. So overall, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, it's weird. I don't normally like remakes. I did like this one, but Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is kind of a weird thing because if people like people are probably going to write it off because it's just a remake. I can understand that because sometimes remakes just kind of fix a lot of problems that they didn't really need to fix. This one fixed problems that actually need to fix, so I do recommend it over other remakes. This is probably one of the shortest movie reviews I've ever done, mainly because I omitted the plot summary because it's the same plot as the original. I mean, can you blame me? I don't really feel like rehashing a film that people have probably already seen 100 times over at this point. So, yeah. Overall, this film was great. I hope you guys check it out on Netflix. Again, it's free so long as you have a Netflix account. If you have a Netflix subscription, you don't have to pay to watch it. It's a great film. It's got a lot of the same messages and heart that the original had. And overall, I enjoyed the remake. It has some of the same problems that I sort of had with the original, like the one scene at the end. Guys who have watched it know what I'm talking about. But for people who haven't seen it, go watch it. You'll know exactly what scene I'm talking about. But yeah, overall, this film is great. I recommend watching it. It's definitely one of my favorite remakes, which isn't saying much because I don't normally like remakes, but it is a really good remake. So I definitely recommend watching it if you haven't watched the original or know somebody who hasn't watched Mewtwo Strikes Back or was too young to watch the Mewtwo Strikes Back. Watch Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. It's still the same film that you guys probably like, or if you know somebody who likes Pokemon and haven't seen the original, then show them this one, and they'll probably enjoy it. It's definitely visually impressive. It's definitely a really good remake. I think you guys should just watch it at least once instead of writing it off. I definitely did. It is a great remake. I don't normally like remakes, but this one may change my mind about that. But yeah, if you guys have seen Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, or if you're planning to go see it because of this review, it's on Netflix. It was released for Pokemon Day, so yeah, it's kind of a Pokemon Day celebration thing. So yeah, check it out on Netflix. It's only an hour and a half, similar to the original, so it's not going to take you very long to get through it. But yeah, overall, it's still a great film. So if you guys have seen Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution or are planning to go see it, let me know in the comments or over on my Discord server, the link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter in the description below. And also check out my Patreon in the description below as well. It's only a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks that are my way of saying thanks. So be sure to check those out in the description below as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!